Star Trek IV is final chapter. Movie gets boost as writer is named. Star Trek May 4th finally take flight as a new screenwriter is penning what is billed as the final chapter of the Starship Enterprise crew led by Chris Pine as Captain James T. Kirk. The J.J. Abrams produced and Justin Lin directed Star Trek Beyond was the last Star Trek movie to hit theaters in the summer of 2016. Now, 8 years later, this is the longest time there hasn't been a Star Trek movie in theaters since Star Trek, the motion picture, launched Gene Roddenberry's 1960s TV series as a film franchise in 1979. A new Variety cover story about the Star Trek franchise reports a promising update about Star Trek IV, as the next movie has a new screenwriter. This could mean J.J. Abrams' alternate Kelvin timeline USS Enterprise crew could finally reunite on the big screen. Read the Variety quote below. Star Trek IV's development hell explained numerous filmmakers have attempted to develop Star Trek IV but departed due to creative differences, including heavy hitters like Quentin Tarantino and Fargo's Noah Hawley. Variety's Star Trek cover story has a brief rundown of the development hell Star Trek IV has faced. First, a movie reuniting Pine's Captain Kirk with his late father, played in the 2009 Star Trek by Chris Hemsworth, fell apart in 2018. Around the same time, Quentin Tarantino publicly flirted with, then walked away from, directing a Star Trek movie with a 1930s gangster backdrop. Noah Hawley was well into pre-production on a Star Trek movie with a brand new cast, until then studio chief Emma Watts abruptly shelved it in 2020. And 4 months after Abrams announced at Paramount's 2022 shareholders meeting that his 2009 cast would return for a movie directed by Matt Shakman, WandaVision. Shakman left the projects to make the Fantastic Four for Marvel. It probably didn't help that none of the cast had been approached before Abrams made his announcement. Variety's report also mentions an origin movie for the entire Star Trek timeline written by Seth Grahame Smith and directed by Toby Haynes. Star Wars Andor, Black Mirror's USS Callister, is preparing to start pre-production at the end of 2024. If that happens, this new Star Trek origin movie would beat Star Trek IV to theaters, but fans are eagerly awaiting the return of Chris Pine's Captain Kirk and his Starship Enterprise.